Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at a bike that's made for everyday riders, whether you're running errands, commuting daily, or just looking for something light, efficient, and reliable. I'm talking about the 2026 Honda BeAT 110. Honda has refreshed this urban workhorse for 2026, and in this review, we'll dive deep into what works, what's changed, and whether it deserves a spot in your garage. Let's get rolling. Right off the bat, the 2026 BeAT 110 shows that Honda isn't trying to reinvent the wheel, they're just polishing a proven blueprint. The essence remains the same: compact size, low weight, easy maneuverability, and rock-solid practicality. But there are a few updates and refinements that make this model a little more polished than before, while still keeping everything you love intact. Looking at the styling, the BeAT 110 retains its slim, underbone frame, the kind that just fits right through traffic, squeezes into tight city gaps, and feels nimble at slow speeds. The body panels are neatly shaped with a modestly sculpted fuel tank cover, sleek side panels, and a comfortable flat seat. Nothing flashy, no overblown plastic fairings, just a clean, practical design that says, "I know what I am." The riding posture remains upright and relaxed, which makes city commuting easy on your back and shoulders. One of the big wins for 2026 is that Honda has tightened up the build quality a little bit. The seams in the bodywork feel more solid, the seat padding is a little firmer but still comfortable, and the finish on the plastic seems more resistant to daily wear and tear. That matters if you're using this bike every day for work, errands, or school runs. Wear and tear in urban traffic can pile up, and here, Honda seems to have taken that into account. Underneath that modest shell sits the heart of the BeAT, a 110cc single-cylinder, 4-stroke, air-cooled engine. It's a proven, simple design built for reliability and efficiency. For 2026, Honda kept the fuel injection (PGMI) version, which means smoother throttle response, better cold starts, and improved fuel efficiency compared to carbureted alternatives. You're looking at around 8 to 9 horsepower at peak, with a torque curve that delivers usable power in low to mid-range RPM. Perfect for city traffic, quick pulls from lights, or weaving through slow-moving cars. It's not a horsepower monster, but you don't need it to be. The city commute demand is all about manageable flexibility, and the BeAT nails that. The transmission is a 4-speed manual gearbox with a gentle clutch. Shifting is smooth, not jerky, and easy even in stop-start traffic. That simplicity keeps maintenance costs low and reliability high. Beginners and experienced riders alike will appreciate how forgiving this drivetrain is, especially in daily commuting conditions. Let's talk about practicality and how this bike handles real-world use. The BeAT 110 has always been a muscle biker's alternative for urban living. Light, nimble, easy to park. In 2026, it still climbs curb cuts, squeezes through traffic, and hops over city potholes without breaking a sweat. The seat height is low enough for most riders to plant both feet firmly when stopped, which gives confidence, especially when carrying a passenger or some cargo. The foot peg placement and handlebar angle makes city weaving easy. No strain, no awkward posture. Suspension setup remains basic but effective. Telescopic front forks with modest travel, and twin rear shock absorbers that balance comfort and lightweight design. You'll feel bumps, sure. This isn't a luxury ride, but it handles small potholes, uneven pavement, and speed bumps without complaining. The front brake uses a disc brake, and the rear uses a drum, a practical and cost-effective combo. Braking performance is adequate for a 110cc bike, enough to stop safely around urban speeds, especially if you're mindful with pressure. Fuel economy is where the BeAT 110 shines. With the PGMI and its light weight, expect real-world economy around 55 to 65 kilometers per liter, depending on load and terrain. Combine that with the modest fuel tank, usually around 3.7 to 4 liters, depending on market version, and what you get is a commuting champion. Cheap to run, easy to refill, and low maintenance. If you're using it daily for work, school, or errands, those savings add up fast, and that's one of the main reasons this bike stays so popular. Ergonomics and daily usability get a thumbs up too. The seat is long enough for two, rider and pillion, and while the pillion seat is narrow, it's usable enough for short trips. Grab handles are sturdy, and foot pegs for the rider and passenger feel well placed. For storage, you get a small under-seat space. Not enough for a full-face helmet, but practical for a raincoat, gloves, small bag, or groceries. Honda hasn't tried to turn the 2026 BeAT 110 into a tech monster, and that's part of its charm. The instrument cluster remains basic, analog/digital hybrid with speedometer, fuel gauge, and odometer/trip meter. It's simple, functional, and easy to read even under bright sun. No distracting touchscreens, no fancy riding modes, just what you need to see while riding, how fast you're going, and how much fuel you have. That simplicity means fewer electronics to fail and low maintenance costs, which again plays right into the BeAT's strength as a daily commuter. As for ride feel, it's smooth, predictable, and forgiving. You don't get sports bike level acceleration. Top speed hovers around 90 to 100 kilometers per hour, depending on load and wind. But for city commuting, suburban roads, and occasional shorter highway hops, it's more than enough. What matters is the feel. The throttle is light, the clutch is manageable, and in everyday conditions, it behaves more like a nimble scooter than a small motorcycle, but with the efficiency and simplicity of a proper bike. Reliability and ease of maintenance remain big selling points. Spare parts are widely available, many mechanics know how to work on it, and servicing is straightforward. Oil, chain lube, brake checks, and regular maintenance. In many countries, the BeAT lineage has proven to run for years with minimal fuss, a big plus for students, delivery riders, daily commuters, or anyone who wants a dependable set of wheels without a big service bill. Real-world use scenarios show the versatility. Use it to get to work, then for groceries, maybe a short weekend ride. The BeAT 110 handles it all. It's light enough to park anywhere, nimble enough to dodge through chaotic traffic, and efficient enough to not make your wallet cry at the pump. That kind of versatility is rare at this price and specification level. Now, who is this bike for? If you're a beginner rider, perfect. If you're a student needing reliable rides to college and back, ideal. A city commuter wanting something fuel efficient and low maintenance does the job and then some. Even seasoned riders who just want a light, no-fuss day bike or runabout. This could easily be a second bike for short errands, quick trips, or weekend runs. It's not glamorous, but it's practical, dependable, and very usable. Let's quickly run through the key specs so you know exactly what you're dealing with. Engine, 110cc, single-cylinder, 4-stroke, air-cooled, fuel-injected, PGMI. Power output, 8 to 9 horsepower. Transmission, 4-speed manual. Suspension, front telescopic fork, twin rear shock absorbers. Front brake, disc. Rear brake, drum. Seat height, low, manageable for most riders. Fuel tank capacity, 3.7 to 4 liters, depending on market version. Fuel economy, 55 to 65 kilometers per liter. Top speed around 90 to 100 kilometers per hour, depending on load. Curb weight, light. Keeps maneuverability high. In terms of ride experience, the 2026 Honda BeAT 110 delivers exactly what most riders in its class want. Reliability, efficiency, ease of use, and a comfortable, manageable ride for daily life. It won't blow your mind with acceleration or high-speed stability, and the rear drum brake and basic suspension show you that it's no high-end bike. But for what it is, it does the job very, very well. Finally, expected price. In international markets where bikes like this are popular, the 2026 Honda BeAT 110 is expected to go for around $1,500 to $1,800 USD, depending on region, taxes, and trim levels. For a bike that gives you this much practicality, efficiency, and ease of ownership, that price point feels fair, reasonable, and hard to beat. So, there you have it, the full breakdown of the 2026 Honda BeAT 110. A small machine, but a smart one. If you're after a bike that gets you from A to B without drama, without high maintenance costs, and with low fuel bills,